YouTube. Today in the Naughty Librarian, I'm doing an end of the month book haul. I've been collecting a few books over the course of this month because obviously that's kind of what I do. Some of them are new releases, some of them are gifts, some of them are just because books, but yeah, I've just compiled a pile of books, so I want to haul them. Let's go. Let's start things off with How to Fail at Flirting by Denise Williams. This was a gift. This is from my friend Christine, aka Love Books and Coffee on Instagram. I'll link her Instagram. She's great. But she sent me this book and I am so thankful. It is a rom-com. It's flirty. Obviously, flirting is in the title. This is a woman named Naya. She is a professor and her department's like on the university chopping block. She's not having a good time. Her friends are like, hey, this is what we're going to do. You're going to put on a good outfit, we're going to go out, and we're going to have a night. You deserve it. And she's like, okay. And this kicks off something like, hey, let's rebuild my confidence. Let's do some things. So she goes to the bar. She meets this guy, Jake. And Jake is like super cool. And like she and him are like hitting it off. They have like a one-night stand, kinda. Turns out she really likes him and I guess he likes her, but there's like complications with her job. Very rom-com-y all the way. But I am interested in like, you know, nerdy professor becomes sexy lady kind of idea here because I just like that trope. And this one, you know, it's a rom-com. It's gonna be fun and campy and hopefully it's gonna be just like fluffy and delightful. So thank you very much, Christine. I am excited to read this. Speaking of fluffy and delightful, I also got a copy of The Roommate by Rosie Danan. This one has kind of been making the rounds on Romance BookTube, Romance Instagram. It's been around. So there's this girl, her name is Clara. She ends up moving across the country because like one of her crush talked her into it. Whoopsie daisy, bait and switch. She's not actually living with her crush. Oh no, she was fooled. And so she's kind of very buttoned up and, you know, like uptight kind of girl. So she moves into this apartment with this guy named Josh. She doesn't really know much about him, but like, he seems really perceptive and kind of cool and like maybe this will work. Who knows? And then she Googles him and uh-oh. So it turns out Josh, I believe, is or / was a porn star at one point in time. So there's that. So she's like, oh my word, clutching her pearls about it. And it goes from there. She and Josh kind of develop this relationship based on, you know, healthy sexuality, I would assume. Basically, it's about, you know, female desire and how that's not a bad thing and like how the world kind of stigmatizes that. So it has some issues here. And also, it's gonna be a rom-com, opposites attract, forced proximity kind of story. But yeah, this one has been going around and I'm so interested in it. It's like tropes I've seen and tropes I haven't seen at the same time. So yeah, I'm pumped for this one. I also randomly picked up a copy of The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. This is another book I've seen going around recently. It's not like a new release, but it's been going around again recently. And if I'm being honest, I don't necessarily know 100% what this is about, but hot damn, does it look cool. So obviously there's dragons. There is a quote by S.A. Chakraborty. Love S.A. Chakraborty, so already I'm like, okay, like I'll listen. But the back blurb is like nothing. It doesn't tell me anything about the book. But it says, a world caught in an internal war, one young man will become his people's only hope for survival. Again, something we've seen a lot. However, it is also described as Game of Thrones meets Gladiator. And also, I'm assuming dragons might be involved somehow. So, Game of Thrones, Gladiator, dragons, fantasy world building. I've heard that this is good from several people, so I just bought a copy. I was at a bookstore randomly. It was an independent bookstore that I really love and I hadn't been to in so long, and I finally went and I was like, I need to buy something at this bookstore. And then I was like, yep, this is the one. So I bought it and I'm excited to dive in. I really don't know what this is about besides those words I have said, which is not a lot of words. So here we go. The rest of the books in this haul are just all pre-orders that have finally come in, but let's go through them. First of all, I have Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne. I've read everything by Sally Thorne. Mind you, it's only 2 other books, so it's not a large catalog, but I've read them all. So this one is Ruthie and Teddy. Ruthie is, she works at a retirement community. So her whole life is pretty much all of that all the time. She doesn't have a lot of time for personal stuff. And in comes Teddy. He's kind of like playboy, bad first impression. She's like, ew, I don't want to deal with you. I know just the thing. So there's these two residents of the retirement community who are just menaces, the wildest old ladies, and she's like, hey, they need an assistant. Here you go, Teddy. So he has to go be their assistant. However, he gives great-grandson, apparently, because they just love him. And she's like, oh my gosh, this wasn't supposed to work. And also, there's like these two big turtles they take care of. So it's a retirement community, endangered turtles, I think, and also opposites attract romance. So it has a lot of crazy elements going on here that I'm super into. Also, Sally Thorne, kind of an auto-by-author for me, and I pre-ordered this months ago, so it's finally here. Yes, give me all your rom-com delights. Another pre-order that came in is Lost in the Neverwoods by Aiden Thomas. This one is kind of a modern day dark retelling of Peter Pan. Yes, give me all of that. It's kind of from the perspective of Wendy, and as a child, she and her three brothers went into the woods. Things happened she has no memory of, and then she came out of the woods, but her brothers didn't. So they've been missing all this time. And now, present day, time has gone by, and kids start going missing again. So everyone's like, hey, Wendy, remember your brothers? And she's like, yeah, of course I remember my brothers. So she's trying to escape her past, la la la, etc. She's driving down the street. Oh my gosh, it's an unconscious body in the street. I almost hit it with my car. So she gets out. Wouldn't you know, it's this kid, Peter, who she remembers from the woods as a kid, and she's like, I didn't think you were real, oh no. And he's like, hey, listen, Wendy, we gotta go find these kids because things are going down in the woods. So she has to go back into the woods with Peter Pan, and I'm like so into this. Like, I am like bursting right now with excitement because it sounds so good. I'm gonna read this like right now. Like, who am I kidding? Like, I'm so pumped for this. Like, I can't wait. This is happening. Sorry, spoiler alert for my TBR, it's gonna be on it. Last book in this haul, and of course, a total pre-order, is Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo. Oh boy, like, I need it. I need it in my life. This is part of the Grishaverse. I know the series just came out. I suck at watching things. I still haven't seen it yet, but it's gonna happen. So this is a sequel to a sequel series. This is Nikolai's story. It's also a duology. The first Nikolai story was a little up and down, to be honest. And then this one, I feel like it's going to be the payoff of all of that up and down in the first book. And oh, I need it now. Like, there were some bombshells in that book. Hoo boy. Hoo boy. Like, I don't want to say what they are because, like, I know the show has just come out and maybe people haven't read the books yet. And there's, like, a lot of things going on, but some shit went down with Nikolai, and like characters you thought were dead aren't dead anymore, and you're like, oh my word. So like, it was such a cliffhanger. It's the Grishaverse, it's Nikolai. I love Nikolai. He's my beautiful little baby, and he is just in a pickle. There's the brink of war. There's also, you know, the whole like monster issue that I won't say more about because spoilers. But yeah, there's this whole war of Fierda coming, and they're like, oh no, this is gonna be bad. So there's a lot. There's a lot happening here, and I just need it. I need to read it now. Like, I very patiently haven't read this yet, but it's happening. Like, I can't wait anymore. Like, it's a physical need at this point for me to read it. Okay, so those were just like a few books I let like pile up during the month of April, and there you go. There you go. I like to leave a book pile on my shelf for when like I get enough books, I haul them. That was kind of my thing. That one had been sitting, and I was like, today's the day. Today's the day I hauled them. Let me know in the comments down below. What's a book you have on pre-order that you are just like bursting about? Because like I just did 3 of them that I'm like super into right now. I am bursting to read. So what's one that you've pre-ordered that you're just like bursting about? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like. And if you want to see more videos, make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.